Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. And now, here's your host, Randy Harris.
Pike Animal Welfare Shelter, formerly known as Pike Animal Welfare Society. We know it as PAWS. It was a refuge for homeless animals in Pike County when it was created 35 years ago. Today, we're with Brian Kiesel and Ashlee Willis with PAWS to discuss where things are today. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
This is Kyle Hathaway with Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard. We have the equipment and crew to take care of your earth moving needs, septic installs, and digging out what you need dug out. We also deliver rock, and we maintain and pump septics. We're just a couple miles away. Call Hathaway Excavating at 812-582-2646.
WFPC is sponsored by the Dustin Schnare Agency for Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Dustin and his staff, including Tyler Dillon, are right here in Pike County. It's face-to-face, and they guide you through the process of insurance. Whether it's home, auto, farm, commercial, or life, the Dustin Schnare Agency is here to help. Call the Dustin Schnare Agency at 812-766-1117 or stop in at the new office on State Road 61 at Petersburg. This program is sponsored in part by Dr. Clint Schultz with Schultz Eye Care in Petersburg. Schultz Eye Care offers comprehensive dilated eye exams, contact exams, a huge selection of name brand frames for glasses and sunglasses, and if you buy a pair, get a second pair at 50% off and a year's supply of contacts at 25% off. Schultz Eye Care is an independent office and are open through the week except Tuesday afternoon. The phone number is 812-354-9400. So, Brian Kiesel, you're
Yes,
the
sir.
treasurer.
Correct.
You're the president of the board.
Board member, yeah. Volunteer.
And you're both volunteers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian's there a lot, and I'm there when I can be. Yeah.
It takes a lot of volunteers to get this operation going, doesn't it?
Yes, and despite our titles, it's definitely a team effort. It's 10 people who make it all work.
And how is that? Do you have paid employees?
Yes, sir, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have 4 paid employees. We consider 2 of them full-time, but they never really work 40 hours a week, if that makes sense. And then we have 2 assistants.
You mean they put in more than 40 hours?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
No, they put in less than 40 hours a week. And then we have 2 assistant kennel managers. But yeah, we have currently in there, I think 30 dogs. You got the numbers right there.
Yeah.
30 dogs and 23 cats, which is a major undertaking to take care of them every day. They have to be fed, watered, taken out, taken to the vet.
So besides your 4 employees, do you have volunteers that come in
Yes,
and
sir.
help on that? You've
Yes.
got kids, different organizations at school.
Yes, sir.
You are passionate about animals,
That I am.
stray animals. What is the providence that brought you into this mission?
I started there, I believe PAWS opened in 2001, if I'm correct. And
Actually, in about 1993.
Yeah. I remember when I was, right when I got my license, which was about 2001, I remember they used to have ads of animals on Channel 3. And that's when I saw a cat I actually adopted, and that's when I started going there, when Nola was there, and started volunteering. And I've kept doing that on and off pretty consistently throughout the years. So that's, 25 years ago. And I believe a lot of times when you get into animal rescue, it's something you just cannot get out of. Because once you get your heart into it, you see that there is so much more of a need than you really realized when you were on the outside of it.
We had a sidebar discussion earlier that when my girls were little, they saw your little maybe Karen Terrier, and started immediately calling her Toto or him.
That was Close to what? I mean, your girls were little.
15 years ago.
I rescued that dog when I was 20 years old. It was my first pet as an adult, and she lived to be close to 17 years old. So I lost her just a few years ago, and that was my start of rescuing animals. And I think I've had about 7 rescue dogs since.
Yeah, I said 15. It may have been longer than that.
Yeah, it could have been, but
Jayla's 19. So.
I think when we get into rescue, it's something that we can't get out of. We just get devoted into, and it's something we feel like we're needed.
Yeah, I think you definitely, once you get into it, you see the need for it, especially in a community like this where we don't really have a official animal control operation. So we step in a lot of cases to try and help.
When I was mayor, when I was running for mayor in 1991, it was an obvious need in this community, and we just kind of pulled some friends together.
Yeah.
Nola, Judge,
absolutely,
the elder Judge Biesterveld, and a handful of others, and we just started meeting in the back of his office and developing a plan.
Yeah, I think it's definitely turning a major operation at this point.
And think of what this would be like. You know, where would these homeless pets be?
A lot of them wouldn't be here. And I think a lot of, you look at the strays, when you look out, there's not a whole lot of them running the streets. I mean, there's some, but I think the numbers have decreased a lot because of what PAWS does do. You know, we do so much for the safety of these animals, and the operations that we do. I mean, it's amazing. You know, I mean, the spaying, the neutering,
all expensive.
You think of just taking your animal to the vet, what it costs. Think of 40 dogs. Yeah.
Every dog that comes in our facility is fully vetted, either spayed or neutered, vaccinated. Microchipped. So in the past 6 months, we've taken in 76 dogs and 61 cats. Wow. We've adopted out 57 of those dogs and 19 of those cats back to loving families. Our vet expenses for the past 6 months was $30,000. So it's not cheap to do this. And we run on donations primarily.
So your biggest need is just a constant filtering of money into the organization to maintain what you have.
Yes, sir. I'm the treasurer, so I'm responsible for I'm fiscally responsible for the organization. And I tell them it would be great if this place ran on hopes and dreams, but it does not. It runs on cash. It runs on money. It is a constant effort to fundraise. I'd say that's the board's primary role, is fundraising. We pay our employees to take care of the animals for us, but I would say the board's primary mission is fundraising, to raise money to keep that place open. So,
my parents, both of their in lieu of flowers went to PAWS, but you always need money, and you need. Yes, sir. Do you need volunteers?
Absolutely.
Yes, we need volunteers. For example, taking the dogs to the vet. That's with as many dogs, I think we make 3 or 4 vet runs a week. And we have a board member, Dina Whaley. She graciously volunteers her time and does that primarily. But if we could find someone who is available to help transport dogs, cats to the vet, that would help greatly.
Walking dogs,
getting them out of those kennels. These dogs are in kennels most of their lives while they're there, despite the fact we try and get them out. But
it's
coming
just
to walk
impossible.
Dogs, it's impossible to take care of that many dogs.
Who is your target demographic to be a volunteer? People are so busy today.
Well, I think anyone that wants to devote time to come down there, we could take, like Brian said, walking dogs. Anyone that wants to come walk a dog just to spend time with them, because not only does that help get them exercise, that helps us know more about the animal to tell future adopters, because we know how they act outside of the kennel to get them and socialize them and gets them better prepared for their homes. If you love cats, we have a room full of cats.
Yeah, you can play with cats so your heart is content.
And I think not only that, if you have any skills like to help us even build stuff for the backyard for the dogs, wooden things for the dogs to to climb on, to play on. Maybe you don't want to be, hands-on with the animals, but we could have people come in and do stuff like that, build stuff. If you have a need and you want to volunteer, we have a use for you.
That's how I personally got involved with the shelter, is when we first moved back here. My wife and I, she wanted to go volunteer there, and we started walking dogs. And next thing you know, I'm the treasurer of the place.
Organization.
I don't know how that happened, but
we appreciate your service.
well, it was kind of a happy wife, happy life type situation.
Now
We
here
went
you
to a
are.
meeting, and they needed a treasurer, and she kicked me under the table and was like, "Raise your hand." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll do that." So it's like, I think I make a joke. I was the most qualified out of a room of unqualified people to do this.
You
so,
balance your checkbook.
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
I'm just it's just balancing the checkbook and making payroll, and it's not that big of a deal, and I do enjoy it. I think my favorite thing is rescuing dogs, going on rescues. We have
Yeah, describe that to us. How do you go on a rescue?
so for the most part, dispatch has my phone number and my wife's phone number, and they'll call us and tell us what the situation is, and we'll go respond and kind of assess the situation and take the animal in, take it to our facility, take it to the vet. If there's any sort of legal proceedings involved, we'll deal with the prosecutor. If like animal neglect charges or anything of that nature, which we've dealt with, the prosecutor's been good about working with us and getting restitution, court order restitution. So we do receive some payment back in situations like that.
Are some of these animals resistant?
I could name the times where I'm told an animal is mean
And
or
it's usually
aggressive,
not.
and you get there, it's just scared.
No.
And if you just show it a loving hand, it will
Yeah.
eventually comply and come with
Yeah.
you. So
Most
I don't
all of
think
our
I've
dogs
ever-
have- no,
I don't
no,
think
no.
I've ever encountered a dog that was actually vicious or mean in any way.
A lot of times people think that, but they're fearful.
Yeah,
And
they're
if you
just
know how
scared.
to handle them or
Yeah, they're just
approach
scared.
them, you'll realize it's fear instead of being, aggressive. So if you know how to handle that animal, you'll realize it's just fear.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ones we went on recently, I don't know how this dog ended up on the highway, but it was
Right in the middle
it
of
was
69.
Right before you get to, what's the next county town? Gibson
Oakland
County?
City.
Oakland City.
Yeah.
So what county is that? Gibson County?
It would be Gibson. It's right there
So,
under that.
Right at the last mile
Yeah.
marker, it was underneath the overpass there, and it was
Yeah.
just stuck. I don't know how it got there. So we were out on the highway for like 45 minutes trying to coax this dog to jump into a minivan.
Not get
Trucks
hit.
are just flying by. Probably would have been a good idea to have cops out there to like block the highway, which one did eventually show up.
Yeah.
And that
By the time I got there, you guys had got it and there was a
we
cop.
got it, but that was absolutely insane. So we ended up getting that dog back in, taking it to the vet. It was injured. We're not sure if it like jumped out of the car or if someone threw it out of the car. But people have to realize if you're going to dump a dog on the highway is fenced in on both sides. So you're basically just trapping a
Trapping
dog
it.
on the highway.
Full of fear.
Regardless of how it got there, we ended up getting it vetted. And that dog actually did bite the sheriff's deputy. Like, not bad,
Yeah.
but just because he was scared. Got the dog in, took him to the vet, worked with him for a week or two, just like trying to get him
Yeah.
used to people. And he eventually let us pet him and turned it into a very nice dog. And we ended up finding the owner. It was some old lady in Winslow.
Wow.
And we have no idea how that dog got on the highway.
Wow.
We don't think, we're 100% sure she didn't take it and dump it. So, I mean, that was a pretty cool situation. We got that dog
Yeah.
back to its owner, took care of it, saved it from getting hit by a car or causing an accident on the highway. So,
Wow.
yep. So stuff like that. I like that stuff. It's exciting to me.
Then we've had incidents where we've had to get multiple cats, 10 plus cats
Yeah,
at
we
once.
just did
And some
that.
of those have been,
2 weeks ago, we brought
Yeah.
in 6 cats from one house.
well, it was close to 10 because there was a mom and
Oh yeah,
babies.
because
10.
yep, and kittens. So yeah,
So you start out right now, you have 23. By the end of the day,
We have-
you might have 30.
But we
Yes, sir.
have, I think, close to 15 in foster too.
yeah.
So,
So we have foster program
yes.
too.
Explain that fostering program, and if anybody's watching
So,
who is interested.
foster is super neat because with foster, you're just providing a home and love
Mm-hmm.
and care, and we're taking care of all the vet expenses.
Yep.
So we're just wanting a safe, loving place for these animals to go.
So how temporary is the fostering?
The fostering's pretty much up to the person, on how long they can keep the animal or until, we have interest in that animal. Like the fosters for the kittens, we ideally don't want an animal or a cat to have birth in the shelter because
give
it's
birth
just,
in a shelter. Yeah.
So they got the kittens. I think one of them had birth there. Maybe the others was when they were babies. They went there. But until they're old enough, the kittens.
The mortality rate is very high for kittens in the animal shelter.
Yes. So until they're old enough to be able to go to homes, and then hopefully once they're old, 8 weeks or so, they can find homes.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, they end up keeping the animals. They foster them forever. So
they fall in love with them once they're fostered
and don't give them back. But it's to one, socialize the animal, get it out of the shelter, to hopefully the people, like, it's kind of, we're honestly
fall in love with it.
Yeah, fall in love with it. We're
but
hoping that people
don't.
fall in love with it and don't bring it back. That's the end goal. And then we have them posted, right? The dogs
we have them
that are
posted.
Fostered, so people can see them, and then if they want to go meet that dog, they can go to the foster person's house, or the foster person can bring it back, and they can meet it and then adopt it from there.
That's how you roped my dogs, my girls.
I remember
on
you getting
Gerald and Ellie.
those. Yeah. Getting those
It
2 little
a lot.
ones.
I think 3 of our dogs we are not going to keep this dog forever, and they are with us forever.
Then they get in a home and they realize how the home is with that animal, and sometimes it's hard to part from that, as you probably
My when you remember my dog Petey?
I remember Petey used to come sit on my dad's porch. I'm pretty sure I remember that.
You were correct. And when Petey passed, and he said, "Never again are we having an animal in the house."
Yeah.
Since then, we've had 2 cats, a bunny rabbit, 2 dogs.
Never say never.
Yeah.
Just another thing I wanted to point out about, you said bunny rabbits, is we've had instances, we've dealt with horses, cows, potbelly pigs, a goat.
There was a snake.
A duck, a bunch of snakes. Yeah. I think I've caught 3 pigs.
Oh, we've had, pigs.
Like loose pigs.
I got a message this morning from a surveyor.
And pigs are not easy to catch.
Do you need a bee swarm?
Well, we don't deal with bees.
Well, there are a lot of people that will take bee swarms here too in town. So if you put something out there on Facebook, I know a lot of them.
Someone did it at my mom's house.
Yeah,
got them out of the wall.
A lot of the local people with honey.
So what do you do with a snake?
I think we let
Evansville. Well, the one I know, I think Evansville will come in and they deal with more of the exotic animals.
One of the snakes was like a native snake, and we just let it go.
Yeah. It was not a pet snake.
Yeah, it was like a rat snake or something. Yeah. We just let it go. Yeah,
we thought it was a pet, but Evansville
can help us with reptiles. Yeah. So it's interesting, all the different animal shelters in the area. It's a big network, and we help each other. Like, I think just last week or the week before, there was an incident in the county where I think 15 dogs needed to be taken care of, which we at the time could not handle all 15 dogs. So DuBois County Humane Society, I believe, helped us and took those animals for us. And then in return, in the future, if DuBois County needs help with something, we'll help them out. Same with Vincennes and Evansville.
You all work together.
That's the great thing with animal rescue, because we're all in need at different times. We're always in need, and everyone tries to work together as a family and help each other.
One of the first, I guess it was an animal hoarding situation.
Oh, yeah.
It was really bad, but it was way more than we could handle. That was a situation with like the goats, the ducks, all the horses, and everything.
80 animals.
Yeah, and within like 2 hours of calling around, we had all those animals taken care of.
Wow.
From DuBois County, Warwick, I mean everywhere. Vincennes, everywhere came to help and take these animals and take care of them. So
what do you do with a potbelly pig?
That one actually went to a farm.
In
Pike County, I think.
In Pike County. Yep. We found someone who wanted them and liked them, and they took them.
And horses. You mentioned horses.
There are people out there that will take horses too. There's rescues, but people will step up for the horses, and there's certain rescues. So
we had to remember trying to catch those horses. Were you there?
I wasn't there. I was there when they all came back.
I thought I was going to die
when the dogs and stuff came back.
Trying to catch a horse that doesn't want to be caught, run at you full steam. Yeah, that was insane.
But when we've had issues with horses or stuff, there's people to help.
Yeah.
So that's what we are thankful for. But any volunteers we can get now, especially with the good weather coming up,
This program is sponsored in part by the Log Ends Farm Bed and Breakfast, just 3 miles west of Petersburg off of State Road 56. It's peaceful, quiet, and you're surrounded by nature in a traditional farm environment. It's nestled in the countryside of a southern Indiana working farm growing grain, hay, and livestock. It incorporates 2 vintage log cabins. Call the Log Ends Farm Bed and Breakfast at 812-354-2192. Recently, the real estate market has been unpredictable, but the sun is shining, spring has sprung, and at Harris Real Estate, we have clients looking for homes and properties to buy and sell. Let us help you. Real estate is local. We are local. We know the business. We know the community. Harris Real Estate has listed and sold hundreds of properties right here. We know Pike County. Harris Real Estate, 812-380-1065. Spring is here and it's time to get winter off of your vehicle. When you wash your vehicle on a regular basis, there are many advantages. You're easier to see, you preserve the life of your vehicle, help maintain its value, enhances vision, and it just looks better. And washing with a wand, you can get into those crevices underneath, brush with a soft bristle brush, and then hose it off. Stop by Petersburg Car Wash today, 401 South 9th Street, Petersburg. Keep it clean. So we've got somebody recently retired, still healthy, loves animals. What do they do? Do they show up on your doorstep?
Our hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 8 to 11:30, 4 to 7. You can show up those times. You want to walk a dog? We have a form you fill out.
Yeah, there's a
volunteer form you can fill out. You get that form filled out on site saying you want to volunteer.
Or messages on Facebook.
Yeah, but that's our hours if you want to come in and
just stop in.
Say
hi.
Yeah, stay hi. And you can, if dogs are your thing, that's great. We also do, which is kind of cool, doggy day out. And you come, sign in, you have that paperwork, and you can take a dog to the park, take it to Pete's and get an ice cream cone, kind of document your day.
Take your dog and get the dog an ice cream cone.
Yeah, but kind of take pictures and post those pictures so people can see what you've done, and that might help get the animal adopted.
Awareness.
Yes, the more we can post, the better. And then also, I think it's kind of neat for adoptions. We do trial adoptions up to, I believe it's 7 days. Quote me on that. But we want to make sure this is a good fit for the animal and the animal's a good fit for the family.
Oh, yeah.
So you take it home. If anything happens, this does not work, that is fine. You can bring the animal back in that trial period. So that's always, if you're not positive, we can make sure that works in that trial period. So we just want to make sure it's a good fit for everybody.
Talk to me about just a full-fledged adoption.
You come in, we got the application, fill out the application. I believe they need your license. They'll call your vet if you've got animals, do a vet check.
There's a cursory background, very limited background investigations to make sure you haven't been charged with any animal cruelty charges or anything in the past, that you're legally allowed to own animals. So
if you have an apartment, we kind of need to check and make sure.
Yeah, we have to check with the landlord to make sure you're allowed to have animals. We always prefer that if you're going to adopt a dog, that you don't have it outside, that you're going to provide it either
adequate
access
shelter
to inside your house or adequate shelter.
If you have dogs, we need to do like a meet and greet.
Meet and greet with existing animals.
Make sure they get along and don't get them home and there's, a fight, something like that. So it's all fairly...
it's common sense stuff.
You've been through this before.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Brian and I both have a house full of dogs. So but any of us would be happy to help you through the process. You can call the shelter, message the page, stop in.
We do adopt animals out on a first come, first served basis, unless the first person we want the animal to go to the best situation possible. I know in the past there has been a situation where 2 people were wanting to get the same dog. One person was going to keep it outside. The other person was going to keep it inside. It was the decision of the board to give it to the person who was going to keep it indoors. because that's the best place for the dog. I mean, I know there's people were upset about that, but in that situation, our interest is the dog's interest, and that was the best call for the dog.
Advocate for the animal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, if you're going to leave your dog outside, okay, and has shelter, or you're going to leave it in your house and have it part of your family, we'd much rather go to a house or to a family that's going to have it in the house.
Because these dogs, a lot of them, their life prior to coming here was just
Horrible.
terrible.
Yeah.
And the best thing that happened to them was what saved them was coming to our shelter. And from that day on, we want their life to change.
Yeah.
So we want to better their life from the day they come and the day they leave. So that's our job, is to ensure that that happens.
Yep.
What do you ever have an animal come in? I'm guessing I know the answer, and you just can't let them go, and you just think this one's we belong together.
Well, I had that happen. I'm sure you've seen my dog, Vivi. She came from one of our hoarding situations, probably our second big one there.
We have one from one of those.
Yeah. She, those dogs came in, someone very scared, and she was there maybe 6 months. She was one of the most scared, not mean, just a very frightened dog. And she would have taken some time to get used to. You probably couldn't have come down and been like, I want that dog, I'm taking her home, because it would not have happened. So she was kind of used to me, but I came down on Friday to drop something off, and I seen her in that cage, and I thought,
She looked at
I
you with
can't
those puppy
see her
dog
sitting in
eyes.
that cage one more day. And I already had 3 dogs at home, and I
Wow.
think 4 cats and 4 rabbits and a child.
Wow.
But I thought I'm going to take her for the weekend and go get her some ice cream.
My-
Well, here we are 2 years later. I'm telling you, that dog is perfect. Never had an accident. And if she would have had an accident, that's fine. We would have worked our way through it. Because you know what? That's just how life is. Now, it did take me working with her every day, walking her, because I had to walk her on 2 leashes, because she actually got loose at Jasper and was lost for, 3 days up there when we went to the vet?
That was the dog.
That was the dog. So I walked her on 2 leashes, but you know, with time and dedication, she has learned to trust. Now I can take her out, take her places, take her to town. But something about her just...
Yes, it happens.
It happens. But most of the time, I just want them to have a good home. But there's certain ones, or maybe it's just times in our life that connection happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Because until that day, it hadn't happened. And something about that day,
I mean, you spend...
it just happened.
Your goal is to get these dogs adopted, and you have to spend time working with them and get them so they are adoptable. And during that time, you build a relationship with them, and you don't want to let them go. I mean, there's been many times there's dogs that left where I cry like a baby in front of people. You know, when that dog gets adopted, I'm starting to tear up now.
I
know,
know.
because you put so much time and effort in that animal to get it adopted and see it go to a good family is very nice feeling.
You sent me on a run the other day, and that dog, I thought, that dog, I hope it gets a home, because I can't have another dog.
Yeah.
Because something about that dog was special to me.
No, I know.
And it was claimed, thank goodness, because...
It would have been your dog.
But you talk about the good times, and then we have very emotional times in rescue. And rescue too.
Well, yeah,
we have very
her and
happy
I have
times.
Definitely gotten into
We
it.
have, but we come back together because at the end of the day, we do care about each other.
Exactly.
And we do care about these
The mission
animals.
and the animals. So.
But rescue is probably one of the hardest things that there is. I mean,
And they are great companions. Aren't
they are, and our emotions get heightened. But at the end of the day, we all care about each other as a family. I think we just put so much. It's hard, and to see what these animals go through, but we just want the best, and we want the best for the shelter at the end of the day.
It's gonna be the second time you've made me cry on camera. The other time was in the Jordan's Way thing.
Yeah.
God, Ashley. Yeah. So
But
it gets emotional.
It does.
We care
and
about these animals
we do.
a lot. So.
We care about it, and we want the best, and we want the community to know how hard everyone works and what all good things are happening. And if you just stop by the shelter, volunteer, see what's going on. If you want to, if you're donating somewhere, just think of us, because we need it, and there's a lot of good things going on.
Yep.
Your website. Your Facebook page.
So Facebook, yeah, we're on there.
Is it PAWS, Pike Animal
Pike
Welfare?
Animal Welfare Shelter. Yes. And right now we have a picture of our brown dog. Is our picture.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it, and maybe you could put it with the podcast.
I think WFPC follows it.
Okay, because there's 2 or 3 website or Facebook
There's an
pages.
old one.
There's like 2 old ones and then our current one. And we've had issues with people going to the old one.
The old one you have to friend request. So if you have to friend request one, it's not the right one.
Yeah.
Go ahead and shoot that to me, and I'll make sure we promote the right one.
Yeah, we've had
this one. You just follow. If you follow it, it's probably the right one.
Organization-wise, you're pretty well cleaned up, moving in the right direction, aren't you?
You hope so.
I hope so. We try.
Yeah. It's been a process. When we first took over, there was a lot of work to do, and it kind of grew. It grew really fast from what it was. It was kind of scary at first. Just all these dogs coming in and the amount of money it took to take care of them.
Hoarding situations right off the bat.
Right off the bat, we had a massive hoarding situation.
The one right after that.
Yeah, so I think we're heading in the right direction. I do want to say that the county has been helpful. We went to the county, I think, last year due to all these calls that are originated with dispatch and law enforcement. I went to the county and just told them, we're providing this much assistance to you guys. You don't have animal control. If you did have animal control, I think it would be a lot more expensive than just helping the shelter out. So they've been very generous in helping us out. And honestly, we probably would have closed if it wasn't for them giving us that assistance first time. We were out of money. So I hope that relationship can continue.
What is your vet bill a month? $30,000?
No, that was 6 months. So in the past 6 months, we spent $30,000.
Wow.
in veterinary costs.
Some months it's more than that.
Our overall expenses last year were $180,000.
So $6,000 a month.
Basically, yes, sir.
We had one dog that came in that was a police or sheriff call, I'm not sure, and she came in pregnant.
Had 15 puppies.
15 puppies, and she was a C-section.
Wow.
So the cost of getting all those dogs fixed, their shots, and then I think, what if that dog would have had those out? She probably, that dog wouldn't have survived. And that would have been 16 lives that would not have made it. And we got all those dogs. They've all got homes now. Yeah. The mom, I think, still needs a home.
One of the puppies out of that litter, someone came from Maine and adopted one of those dogs. Our shelter manager, Jessica Naranjo, she has a TikTok page, which you should follow. I can send you the information for that too. It's very entertaining. She goes through her day taking care of the animals and everything that goes into like running that place on a day-to-day basis, taking care of 30 dogs and 30 cats. But through that TikTok, she's had donations made to the shelter, and she also connected with a lady from Maine who flew all the way out here and adopted one of those puppies and brought it back to Maine.
She couldn't find one closer to Maine.
I mean, I don't know.
She must have connected with that one.
She must have connected with the dog over TikTok and flew all the way here and took a dog back to her with her to Maine. So
wow, incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really cool. So
when you're looking at people who want to own a pet, what advice do you have on how you take care of your pets, how you love your pets, how you do what's right for them, make sure they go out, make sure they do their business?
I think for me, this is my part, Brian might have different. When you get a pet, you have to realize some of these may have never been in a home before. This is all new. So start out with the idea you need some patience, because we don't know. Yeah. So start out the understanding of patience. And if you read, I think there's a 3-month rule for when you adopt a pet. It kind of goes in line. And not all dogs are the same. This dog you adopt today is probably not going to be the same dog that you had before. So never compare an animal. Same goes for a cat, like any other animal. I'm different than Brian, and Brian's different from you. So we have to realize every animal is its own. So let's just have patience, and because when you're uptight, they feel that, they sense that. So let's have patience and understand this is all new. I've heard people that's adopted animals that's been there for years, they don't know how to walk on carpet. They don't know how to walk on surfaces. And routine. I think routine is so important. I see that with my dogs. I take them out in the morning. I run home from lunch. I take them out. And just make them a priority in your life, because they do take time. Are they worth it? They're 100% worth it. But they take time.
You mentioned something during that. Animals have senses that we don't.
And they know if you're upset or if you get upset with them, and that just makes things, makes it worse. Can you work all day and have a dog? Absolutely.
Well, a certain type of dog.
A certain type.
Yeah.
But you have to know, like, I have to run home at lunch, and that has to be my priority, and let my dogs out. If I have to go to another town to work, I have to have my mom. She has to run over and let my dogs out. If not, guess what? There's probably going to be an accident. Is it their fault? No. Would I ever blame them? No. If you're getting a younger dog, I always say they're puppies till they're about 3 years old. So are you going to get stuff chewed up? Yeah, you probably are. It's like a child. They learn. Their brains are forming. They need stuff. They need stuff to play with. They need walked. Some dogs need walked more than others. So research the type of dog. If you're going to get a herding type dog, guess what? They're going to want to herd. So research the type of dog that you're looking into.
Yeah,
if you're getting a big dog, it needs room. It needs exercise.
People need to understand that owning a dog is not.
It's not a toy.
It's work.
Work.
You get into it what you put into it, right? If you have a dog, you never train it, and it acts crazy in your house, that's your fault.
There's probably a reason.
The reason is because you didn't put in time to train the animal to not do those things. So, and especially a shelter dog, if you're adopting a dog out of an animal shelter, as much as we'd like to provide you with a perfectly trained animal, it is not a perfectly trained animal. It spent 6-7 months of its life in a cage, basically. And we would love to train every dog that we have and make it perfect for everyone. But if you adopt an animal, you're going to have to realize you're going to have to put in work to make that dog what you want it to be.
And this is the first time they're living life outside of the shelter. Maybe we've got one dog that's been down there almost 2 years.
Yeah, we try
These are
not
good
to,
dogs.
We try not to judge people when they return animals, but there's certain situations where people will bring dogs back after they've had them for 3-4 months, and they're like, we can't have this dog anymore. It won't stop urinating in the house or this behavior and that behavior. And I'll be like, well, did you attempt to train them in any way? It didn't come perfect. And they're like, well, no, not really.
Personal responsibility there.
Exactly.
Responsible.
Personal responsibility. Perfectly put. You have to take responsibility for taking care of this animal. So I just want people to know that. I guess that
it takes work. Like the weekend, I just can't up and leave. I have dogs. When I go on vacation, I have to have something set up for my animals. I have a dog now. He's 17. I love him to death, but life he's harder now. I have to pick him up, take him up and down the steps. I can't imagine when I don't have him, but he's up all night because he's kind of got sundowners like a human.
Wow.
Life changes him. I'm so lucky to have had him this long. But and I don't ever complain because I'm up with him. Because I'm so lucky to have had him. But we have to be there through the stages.
Now let's say spay and neuter your animals.
Oh, that's right.
If you don't get your animal from a shelter, stop breeding dogs in your backyard. Spay and neuter your animals. There are so many dogs that need homes that are just basically thrown away by people because people do not spay and neuter their animals.
And there's programs to help. DuBois County has a great program with reduced
low cost.
fees.
I believe it's $90 to get a dog.
And I think cats are maybe 50 or 60. I don't know. If you look on their website,
it's under $100.
Yeah.
We just got the new price sheet like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Feral
it's
cats
under
is even
$100
cheaper.
in DuBois County. It's not a huge expense, and it makes a huge difference in the community.
And their health, the animal's health.
And the animal's health, and just the amount of stray dogs and
it's just
cats
heartbreaking
that are in this county is
They're
it's
born
heartbreaking.
Sick and
It's absolutely insane how many stray.
And if you look
dogs
on
there are.
SNAP vouchers for Indiana, if you get any type of assistance, if you look on there, most type of assistance, if you just look it up on the internet, $50 vouchers is what they are to get your dogs and cats spayed and neutered.
Through the SNAP program?
Through the SNAP.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yep.
And you get that voucher in the mail. They go on every Monday at 9 a.m. You have to prove you get assistance. I think it's WIC, HIP, a lot of different assistances. They send you that voucher. You make an appointment at the vet. They spay and neuter your animal. So it's a very reasonable cost to prevent future litters and feeding and finding them homes.
Yeah, it's very important.
I'm going to ask you both this.
Yes.
What's your favorite experience down there? Anything just jump out at you and think, oh, this was a great story?
Oh, there's a lot. Man.
Ashlee, what jumps out at you?
I don't know if anything jumps out. I think it's just the feeling of rescue. Something about the feeling when you get into rescue, I think it just completes you as a person. And I know that's my job in nursing. I love. I will always be a nurse. I've been a nurse for 15 years. But something about rescue, I feel like it makes me a complete person. I've passed it down to my daughter. She knows the importance of it. She knows the importance of animals, of spaying, of neutering, of loving animals, of rescue.
I think it feels good to help
seeing
animals
them happy.
that can't help themselves. I think it gives you a great sense of joy and putting the positive energy back into the world. I would say this last one where we got this dog off the highway, for me, it wasn't so much the emotional part. It was the excitement of going out there and spending 45 minutes on the side of the road with semis flying by while trying to coax this dog to get in this minivan. My wife is the one who actually ended up doing it because he was scared of me. I actually had to go hide across the highway, like behind a tree, because he was so scared of me. But Lindsay ended up getting it to go in the van. So I thought that was pretty exciting. That was a great sense of accomplishment. Once we got that dog in the van and got it back to the shelter, I thought that was pretty awesome. Stuff like that. It was exciting. You know,
so do you carry treats with you? T-bone steaks? Here, puppy.
Yeah. I have canned food and stuff in my car.
Treats work. I mean, it depends. If a dog's super scared, it's not interested in eating. The way Lindsay ended up getting that dog in the car was crazy. We had bottles of water in the van, and she ended up taking the water and started pouring it in her hand. And the dog was so thirsty, it started drinking the water out of her hand, and she just slowly moved back to the van, and then started letting it drink water, and then got in the van while still pouring this water in her hand, just taking bottles of water, and finally it got in the van. It was crazy.
She's the dog whisperer,
Lindsay.
Yeah. She does well.
She does good with them.
She does well.
No.
We so appreciate all the effort that you put in this for Pike County.
We appreciate Pike County for backing us. Yeah. We do.
Appreciate it.
Your big needs. We're going to recap them.
Okay.
You need people to adopt.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You need volunteers.
Yes.
Adopt or foster.
Or foster.
Yes.
Anything that gets the dogs out of the shelter.
Volunteers of all sorts. If you want to walk, pet, build something, transport.
There's always something broken that needs to be fixed.
Make blankets, anything you want to do.
Yep. Scoop out pens.
Oh, yeah.
Scoop poop, do whatever.
There's a need.
Yeah, I think we're having a cleanup
when will
day.
this air?
Yeah, when will this air?
A week from Friday.
Okay. What date is that?
I think it'll be after the cleanup day. Okay. That's fine.
Okay. But anytime you want to come down there, just clean on the outside, we can do it.
Yeah, we always have we're going to try and have a cleanup day probably 2 or 3 times a year where we can have the community come and just help us air beautification, move. There's a bunch of old pens that need to be stacked and carried away, filling holes in the yard, scoop poop, help weed eat, mow, things of that nature.
Family
Pressure
thing to
wash,
do
some painting, do whatever needs to be done there.
School organizations.
We would love to have school organizations.
Yeah, we've had Otwell Miller Academy has been out a few times.
The elementary school just did a donation thing for us.
The elementary school did a drive, a donation drive. We've done.
Didn't Jayla come down one time and help on something?
I bet. Yeah, I'm not always down there, so
I'm not always there. I have a full-time job, so I'm not there during school hours. I'm not sure.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw something out. Jenna, can you get points for helping in the community for National Honor Society, things like that?
I think
I would say so.
Yeah, we have one of our board members' daughters does pageants, and I believe she gets part of her pageant platform is helping at the shelter. And they've actually raised quite a bit of money through her platform for the shelter. One of, quite a large sum of money.
Yeah.
Do you need food? Do you need cat food, dog food?
We usually put a post when we need certain foods, like we'll go through.
That's a sticking point because the dogs get used to a certain brand of food.
Right.
And we'll get donations from Feeders Pet Supply in Jasper, which has given us a lot of food. And we try and use it, but the problem is it messes the dog's stomachs up. They're used to one food. One type of food, so we try and use it as much as we can. But we're about to start what we call
like a blessing box
box in front of the shelter, where any excess food we have, we're gonna put there, and then if people in the community are having a hard time feeding their dogs, they can come and
if we have any extra,
they can come and take it free of charge. So
toys, chews, or something we do need. Hard, durable toys, and. Yes, and like if they're, like that, yes, hard, something to keep the dog's mind occupied. So, toys and like the hard chews, stuff like that. That's something I think we're always in need of, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you go by Rural King, go by somewhere and you see, toys, hard chews, stuff like that. The hard bones they can eat, stuff like that. I think that's something we always need.
We don't give them chicken bones, right?
No, just the dog bones. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Chicken bones.
Splinter.
Yeah, and could cause a really high vet bill, I think.
Yeah, we already have enough vet bills.
But stuff like that we always need.
Money. What if we've got a spare $20? What do we do? Put it in the mail?
We have the mail. Drop it by the shelter. We have Venmo and PayPal.
We have a drop safe at the shelter where donations can be. They can give them to a staff member, and the staff member put it in the safe. Venmo, PayPal, and then
you
obviously
can mail it.
Snail mail. Mail it to us. P.O. Box 63, Petersburg, Indiana 47567.
63 stands for Pike County.
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
There you go. So, I like from my standpoint, I always say, I think I already said it once, the place doesn't run on hopes and dreams; it runs on money. Unfortunately,
and volunteers, and families to take dogs.
Yes, and people who adopt animals.
Yes.
I think the mission is worthwhile. I think it really serves the community well.
Yeah.
It's
a little can go a long way too. You might not think your $20 or you walking the dog once a week, every other week helps, but if people can do that, it adds up.
We have donors who send $20 a month. If we had 1,000 people send $20 a month, that's a lot of money.
That would take care of all those vet bills.
A little bit adds up.
So,
we sure appreciate you coming in.
We appreciate you.
And schooling us today.
Well, thank you.
And all that you do for Pike County.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And you're right. You do save the county a lot of money just by the service you provide.
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to definitely provide a service to the community and to the animals.
Yes.
So
we sure appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us for this program of WFPC Podcasting. The program is brought to you by Hathaway Excavating and Rock Yard, Schultz Eye Care, the Log Ends Farm Bed and Breakfast, the Destin Schneer Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, Harris Real Estate, and Petersburg Car Wash. Please thank our sponsors for their continued investment in Pike County. A new program appears each Friday on WFPCpodcasting.com, exploring the people, information, and news right here in Pike County. See you next week.
Thanks for watching WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. From back roads to town centers, we bring you the voices, stories, and news that shape our community. Join us on this journey through the past, present, and future of Pike County, Indiana. Tune in next week for the next episode of WFPC Podcasting.